And we're live. Okay. You caught me cheating earlier. My camera switched over. You guys weren't supposed to see that. Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Jordan Anderson, and welcome to tonight's live stream. Tonight, we're going to be talking about a very topic that's near and dear to my heart, and that is creating consistent content. Let's kind of dive into it. It's So if you're listening to this and you're a content creator, or you are thinking about the endless gauntlet, the endless onslaught of content that you have to create, maybe you've even heard things like Instagram, Facebook's new content policy where you have to, post 10 stories a day and 7 reels and 3 Instagram posts. It's a mess. So let me kind of walk you through a couple tips, a couple ways that I have throughout the years created a lot of content, created consistent content, and the kind of systems and philosophies that I kind of go through. Let me switch over to our magical slideshow. And welcome to if this is the first time you're watching. My name is Jordan Anderson. I'm a pricing coach for wedding photographers. Before we go to theperfectweddingpackage.com. Check out. If you're a young photographer looking to increase their prices, get better at their work, and make more money this year, then go to theperfectweddingpackage.com. But don't go there just yet. Let's first kind of focus on the content at hand. So let me make sure I got my little bubble queued up. I'm excited about this one. Let me get there we go. Alrighty then. And boom, here we go. Let me make that slight adjustment. I always forget on OBS you have to hold control. There we go. Nice. Creating consistent content. So you may be struggling, or you may just have this kind of feeling or urge or pressure or whatever you want to call it, that you just have to constantly create content, or you always see these YouTubers, these Instagrammers, these people on TikTok, and it's like, how are they able to produce that much content all the time? And it's not as hard as you think. And there's actually just a couple key philosophy things. Let me kind of first, let's talk about this for a second, because there's this notion that people on YouTube that have been around for a long time are successful. I feel like I need to dedicate an entire episode to this, about this kind of projection of success, that people that are consistent, or people that do well, or people that have YouTube channels, or people that have consistent followings or a lot of followers on YouTube, on Instagram. I don't want you to look at those people and either feel jealous, or to feel less than, or not worthy enough, or not able to, I can't keep up with that, or there's no way that I could ever do that or ever achieve that. It's cliche to say, but we all started with zero. We all started with nothing. But remember too, even the people that have something, or that have 10,000, 20,000, 50,000 followers, may not actually have something going on behind the scenes. They may be making $100 a month, and you're like putting in your mind like, wow, this person's so successful. They're making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year because they got. If I had 1 million followers, I'd have. It's like, there are people out there. So remember too, what is the purpose of all this? Why do you want to create consistent content? Is it for gaining followers, for leading them to some kind of business objective that you have, or is it because you just like creating content, that you just like educating people, that you like helping people, that you like? For me, I always say I love teaching because it is a great way. It's the selfish way that I learn. I learn something, and the only way I have to either one, apply it in my life, or I have to go out and teach it to somebody. So whatever I learn in my life, I immediately apply it, or I will go and either teach it on a YouTube, on a TikTok, in a podcast, some way, somehow teach that skill, because when I teach it and I have to articulate it, that makes me better at understanding what it is that I understand. Let's get back to the slideshow. Creating consistent content. So tonight's main goal, I want to give you the tools to create content, as much content as you want. And let's kind of be clear about a couple things with when I say giving you the tools to be consistent. Or let's break down consistent. when I say consistent, I don't mean every single day. I don't necessarily mean every single week. I don't mean every single month. I mean, how can you, I look at this in kind of a game of years, like how much content can I create and how long and for how long can I create this? And I don't, whenever I make a commitment, I'm going, we'll talk about this a little bit later in the slide, but like when you make a commitment, make the commitment. And because that's really consistency. Consistency is not, oh wow, they're so good, they do one every week. It's like, no, they've done one every single week or once a month for the last 9 years. That's consistency. That's the kind of consistency we're going for here. We're going for that longevity years into the future, not just the end of this year or the end of this month, or can I make it through this quarter. We're talking what plan, what strategy, what philosophy can you live by that's going to take you from here until, 5 years from now. Tonight's lesson plan is going to be based on 3 things: philosophy, the breakdown, and the habit. But another way to say that is the why, the what, and the how. Very simple. So, lesson number 1, let's talk philosophy. My philosophy has always been, and this goes against a lot of content creators out there, is to remove all the friction. And when I say remove all the friction, my question I always ask myself and ask people that I'm creating content with is, what is the shortest point from creation to publication? Or better way to say that, like, what's the shortest distance between, or the shortest time, or the process with the fewest amount of steps from getting to I have this idea for content that I want to create, all the way to hitting publish on whatever platform that it is you're publishing on. And that has actually been my guiding philosophy for everything. It's not my style, and I'll say some things that here it's like, this is just almost, at this point, this is just a matter of taste. My matter of taste is, yes, I'm a filmmaker. I can do all the cinematic stuff. I can do all the editing and the flashy edits and the making everything just look sharp and crisp and just 100%. But would adding in those processes, adding in those extra steps, get me to where I want to be, or get me to the consistency that I want to be? Because in my mind, when the more steps that I have to add to the process, the more steps or the more possibilities that I myself am going to either get lazy, talk myself out of doing something, convince myself that this idea is not really that good. When there's only 1 or 2 steps between the idea and publishing something, it's hard to kind of have that self-dialogue, or hard to feel kind of lazy about everything, because it's like, how can I just remove everything? I don't need a fancy camera. I've talked about this a long time. I don't need a fancy camera. I don't need a fancy microphone. I just need my iPhone. I just need, just slim it down. We all try to make this as fancy as possible. We all try to make all of this as sexy, flashy as possible, but it is more about building in a system. It's more about just break everything down to its, distill everything down to its basic, simplest form, and then build on from that. And when I say kind of break everything down, you don't need the lights, you don't need the camera, you don't need all this editing software. You just need to first get good at creating, or get consistent. And as you get consistent, then you can, once you have your system, then you can start to add layers to your system, and that's where the quality improves. So at the very beginning, when you're worried about how do I make all this content, Jordan, how do you make all this content consistently? Just start making content and work on shortening that distance. Work on getting that idea phase and publish phase, and squeeze that together as tight as possible. And once you feel like you have that from 1 or 2 steps, or 1 to 3 steps from those 2 major points, that's when you can start to add in the flavor, the lights, the accessories, the microphone, the camera, all that stuff. That's when you can add in everything. Because I believe that content is a game of numbers. And you'll be surprised that content does not have to be high quality. Facebook ads, there are tons of, it's weird, I'm running Facebook ads now on one of my products, and it's weird that iPhone footage actually works better than highly produced cinematography, 16:9, the like cinema bars and all that stuff. Like you don't have to do any of that. So I look at content as sort of a game of numbers. And when I say game of numbers, I talked about this just a second ago, that I look at it more in the years terms or the months terms, and sometimes even the weeks term. Like, what am I doing this week? Or what have I been doing these last couple months? Or what I really like to focus on is what am I doing over this year, over next year, in the coming years? Because I've had a YouTube channel for quite some time. Yes, I have not been super consistent at all the time, and that's totally fine. But the consistency is not so much in the micro of like, okay, you missed a month or two or you missed a week or two. I've been on YouTube since 2015, 2016. I think my channel is like 6 years old now. That's how I look at it. I don't look at this like, oh no, I missed this week, or oh no, like if I miss a month, then my channel is ruined, or it's, because content too, when you're building an audience and creating content, you are forming a relationship with your audience, or people are coming to you for specific information. People don't get mad at you if you drop out or don't consistently post all the time, or if you miss a month or if you miss a week. Think of your favorite TV show or think of your favorite Netflix series. You don't get mad when they don't, when they shoot episodes 1 through 10. You're not mad when it takes them another year to shoot episodes 11 through 20, but they are consistent. Every single year they're coming out with a new series. So that's like, think about that in sort of the context of consistency. If you were only produce 10 videos a year, can you consistently produce 10 videos a year? And then next year produce 10 more videos a year and make it consistent, so that there is this sort of cadence, there's this expectation that, because that's the relationship. That the relationship is ruined when you ruin that, when you mess up that cadence, or when, you always see the YouTubers like, hey guys, haven't posted in a while. I've been gone for, like, they're always making these excuses. It's like, but it's okay. It's a relationship you have. Just the fact that you are still posting, the fact that you are still here is a good thing. Now, in terms of content strategy, let me kind of give you a little bit of sense. Like, if you choose to commit to something, you're thinking about, okay, Jordan, I want to get into YouTube videos, or Clubhouse seems interesting, Jordan, or TikTok seems pretty hot right now. What can I try? What is out there that is maybe on the horizon? Whatever you do, email newsletter, podcasting, YouTube live streaming, Twitch live streaming, whatever you choose to do, I want you to commit at least a year to do it. That seems really harsh, or that seems like that is almost a punishment, because you might in the first month realize that you're just not good at it. That's actually where I want you to lean in. If you're in the first month and you're like, for me, like, I'm not a good writer. Last year I decided to start a daily email list. I suck at spelling, grammar, but I said, hey, everyone keeps talking about email newsletters. It seems pretty easy. Substack came out and they offered a great service that you can send out free email newsletters to all the people on your list. So I dove in, and I was not, I committed. I say, I'm going to try this every day for a year, and I was pretty consistent. And I did, and it was tough at the first, because I did not have the habit. I did not have the cadence. I was just like, I'm on video right now. This is me talking off the dome. I feel so natural in this. Like, video is my jam. And I said, Jordan, you got to try something else. You got to see what else is out there, because if you don't know, you don't know. So I had to go at least find out what was out there, what I could do, and you get better. I fell into the habit. I said, okay, I got to at least commit to this for a year, because after a year, that's where, because people say like, okay, should I stop now? Now's the right time? If you stop after only 3 months or 4 months, you just don't have the data. You don't have the feedback. You don't have feedback from the audience. You haven't built a fan base at all, so you don't know if what you're putting out is good, and you probably also at the same time haven't even perfected the craft of what you're doing. Like, if you were just now starting on TikTok, hang on, just like this hair tickling me. If you're just now starting on TikTok, the craft of creating there's a learning curve to creating on TikTok. So like I'm in the learning phase of learning how to create on TikTok. It's like what I know I suck at it. I know I don't know. I'm not putting the text right, or I'm not using the music in the right way, or using hashtags in the right way. Like that is mastering the craft of getting better at the content that you're producing. So if I were to say, okay, I suck after this, I tried it for a month, it's not so good, didn't see much of results, whatever, then you're just kind of, it's that diagram where it's like there's a million arrows in a circle and they're all like going out in one, and then there's that one arrow that's just going consistently in one direction. That's what you want to do. Just if you commit to if you choose whatever platform, whatever type of content you're going to do, a podcast, a live stream, I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to do this and I'm going to consistently do this for a year. Not, hey, I'll do one or two podcast episodes and then in a year I'll decide to quit after I only did 2 episodes. I'm saying whatever consistent cadence you're going to do, I'm going to do 1 podcast a month, I'm going to do 1 YouTube video a month, whatever that cadence is, stick to it consistently for a year. And then after a year, I'm not saying after a year quit, I'm just saying after a year, that's when it's okay to reassess. You should not question yourself 6 months in, am I doing this right? Is this the right thing to do? Is this worth my time? Am I wasting my time? Wait for a year. Let's go on to lesson number 2. Let me kind of break this down because this is the what. So we talked about the why do all this, what's the purpose, just all of that stuff. So now we kind of, this is the kind of breakdown, and I hope like you can kind of read that a little bit, but insert whatever social media you want in these. I'm not saying this is an example of a breakdown that you should be doing for your content strategy. So for me, I just kind of made it up. I'm just going to put a couple things here, but like I have there's one main thing that you do, and that takes up 70% of your time, that takes up 70% of your bandwidth, your attention, your thoughts. That is what you should be living in. So I'll say, hey, maybe this year for me, I'll do 70% of my work, 70% of my focus is going to be on TikTok, getting better at TikTok, growing on TikTok, producing content, making it just more in-depth, making it like a full-on TV show on TikTok. And then everything else, YouTube, email, newsletter, podcast, Instagram, Reels, blogging, all that stuff, that can all go in, that's going to have to fit inside that 30% window. 70% of your focus should be on one thing, and the rest should be on in that 30% window, because like you have to like there has to be this kind of like, you only, as small businesses, as small business creators, as solo entrepreneurs, whatever you are, you probably don't have a team with you. You probably don't have a huge budget that you can just say outsource. Like the amount of times I wish I could just say, hey, let me just create all these live streams, and I'll just, for every live stream, I'll just have somebody edit these into a podcast, trim this down into a nice fancy YouTube clip. That is, yeah, you may be able to do that like once or twice and say like, hey, here's $300, here's $400. But like if you say like, I'm going to do this every single week for the next 5 years, that's thousands of dollars that some content creators, that some small businesses, or some people that are just, hey, I'm live streaming at 9 p.m. I have my day job, but I'm just trying to get into this thing called YouTube. You might not have that budget, or that might not even be realistic, or at the same time, you might not even know how to manage somebody like that, how to there's that. That's what I kind of want you to also think about too. You only have a limited amount of time. When you'll see these people, and it's always like social media marketers online that are telling you how you should be marketing your business, what content strategy you should be breaking down, and all this stuff. And they always fail to forget, they always fail to remember that the people they're talking to, you, the small business owner, the solo entrepreneur, the wedding photographer, you're the only person in your company. You have other shit to do. When you're a social media marketer, half your job, if not 60% of your job, is sitting on social media creating content for your clients. So you're right there. You're already in the pocket. You can just create content for yourself, and it's super easy just to switch over. If I'm in video editing mode over here, or if I'm editing wedding photographs, then I don't have time all the time to switch over, get the podcast mic out, record a podcast, and then go and do live streams on YouTube and then get TikTok out. It's like I don't. So take caution when you hear this advice from social media marketers, like just do everything, or like this is how you have to post constantly. You have to post 10 stories a day. It's like maybe you don't. Let me check the streams and see how we're doing. How's the live stream doing? All right, we got Lux Life says getting quicker with, let's see. Getting quicker with content. DJI Pocket that mirrorless, but I'm not a video editor. Haha, just going to be doing live until I find an editor, but better live than planned out work. That makes sense. Yes. I'll give you the kind of behind the scenes for me. I always make fun of that for me. With the reason I'm doing live is because I think and I believe that YouTube is trying to keep up with Twitch, so they want to start promoting live. Twitch is getting very popular. It's just live streaming. So my idea, like from me, out of laziness, if I can just create a live video, it's already here, it's already recorded, it's already edited, it sounds fairly decent, and I'm able to kind of switch these slides back and forth to make it look professional and watchable enough, then that means I don't have to edit. That means I can spend less time editing this video, less time editing this podcast, and more time on doing the 70% thing. So my new strategy, or this year's strategy, is going to be on TikTok. Like I'm going to spend 70% of my time on TikTok, and then or when I say 70%, 30% of my time, 70% of the time that I'm dedicating in my week for social media. I'm not saying in a 40-hour week, I'm not spending 70% of that 40-hour week on TikTok. The amount of time that you spend on marketing and creating content per week, 70% of that time should be dedicated to just one platform. And as you can see, I'm live streaming 3 times a week, about an hour a week. That's about 3 hours. So that's my kind of laziness. Like, hey, that's in my 30% bubble of I'm live streaming on YouTube. This is how I can consistently post and also not really have to spend that much time editing. And it's here, it's live. I don't need an editor. Saves me time. That's how I also do this consistently too. And we're going to talk about this here in a second. So let's move on to lesson number 3, the habit. Okay, so if you haven't, or I'm currently reading, but everyone just keeps always saying, read this book, Atomic Habits, make it obvious. The same way people say, like, okay, if you want to play guitar more, get your guitar on a guitar stand, put it in your living room, and you will be inclined to play it more. Make it obvious. My office, how I have my office set up, is that I have this paper backdrop. Here, I'll switch over here. I've got the paper backdrop. I have this light stand right here. It hangs out in the corner. I have my camera here on my desk at all times. When it's not on all the time, but it's on my desk. I've got the podcast mic here hooked up to my desk. I've got the mixer. All I have to do when I want to sit down and start creating or start making videos is I turn on this mixer, turn up my microphone, turn on the video camera, and open OBS and just hit start recording. That's the make it obvious. It's every time I'm working here at the computer, I'm always staring in the face at my camera and being constantly reminded that I need to make content. So if your camera is in the drawer, or you might have to give up the whole minimalism, have everything put away, out of sight, out of mind. You might have to be a little bit messy in your life. But if you want to create more content, if you want to get your camera out, get your podcast out, get your mixer out, get your microphone out, have it visible. I mean, even back here, I got this right here, this thing right here. Yeah, I just have this thing. This is my little phone stand. Put my phone here, and it's here. Sometimes I have it in my living room, and I know, hey, I got to make some TikToks. Got to put this on got to put my phone here. I got the charger outside. It's everything is obvious. Everything is in my face, constantly reminding me that I need to make this content. So, so that's one big problem that I would always like. That's that was like one hurdle to get over. Like, make it obvious, get it in your face. If you're gonna do a podcast, have the microphone stand here, locked and loaded, ready to go. That I say like, hey, it's Wednesday, it's time to record my podcast. All you have to do is either open up the software or turn on the mixer and just hit record. That is the shortest distance from creation, idea phase to publication. Shortest distance. What is that shortest distance? Make it obvious. If my phone is right here, I'm ready to go. If I got the charger, I got the phone stand, I'm ready to go. Here we go. Make it public. All right, if you ask me next week, I'll probably disagree with this point, but the make it public means to make it a public commitment. If you put your ego and reputation and who you are as a person out there and put that quote unquote at stake based on the kind of content that you are about to create, then you also feel this social pressure to create content. If I tell you that I'm going to be live streaming Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on YouTube, and I put it in my email signature, I put it in my Instagram bio, I put in my Instagram links, I put it on my YouTube channel, all of that stuff, I put it in my email newsletters. If I'm constantly putting it out there that I'm going to be live streaming Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, then I'm just going to feel that social pressure to like every time at 9 p.m. Like there are some days when I'm live streaming like this, and it's just like it'll be like, damn, it's Wednesday, or like, damn, I gotta do a live stream, and it's like it's 8 o'clock. I know I got a live stream in an hour. I usually if I am gonna get ready, I get ready at 8:30, start making the slides, and then I'm like, shit, it's 8:30. Like what? But like there's this obligation. Like I feel whether or not you're actually watching this live stream, whether or not you actually show up, I don't care. It's about the fact that I am publicly putting myself out there saying, I am here, I'm committing to what I'm doing, and if I don't, then I'm looking like a fucking liar. Then it's like, okay, that guy wasn't consistent, that guy wasn't true to what he said, he's a piece of shit, he's not really, like, people don't think like that, people judge like that, but whatever mental dialogue that you have to have in your head, they're like, okay, damn, I promised people I was going to be here Friday at 9 p.m., and I have to be here Friday at 9 p.m., So put it out there, make it part of your identity. That was the other atomic habit. Like make it, I am a live streamer. I am a TikToker. I make 3 TikToks a day. Or I put out 3 TikToks a day. I make multiple ones. But, like put yourself out there. Make the public statement of who you are, what you're going to be doing, and how much you're going to be doing of it. And finally, this has to do a little bit with, okay, I'll show you. Build it once and make it last. This comes with this is what I talked about at the very beginning of the episode about systems. That is my philosophy. Like build the system of what can I do that I can consistently create something, and again, first figure out that shortest point. Idea phase to distribution. Idea phase to publish. Like what's the shortest distance from hitting record to hitting publish? If it's Instagram stories where it's literally just holding down the button, recording, and then hitting publish, that is what you want to do. And then expand from there. This live stream setup, everything that I've done right here, all these fancy lights, not actually these are all cheap lights. All these lights are like, that light is $20. Like this whole setup is not expensive, and it's not meant to be expensive. This microphone is $40. It's not meant to be expensive. This is not like some high-end flashy. I understand the tools and how to make it look fancy, but when I say build it once and make it last, I have this setup. This took me about, I don't know, I guess technically this took me 5 years to build, but really it took me only like 2 weeks to build it. But once I have this all now built, and I built it once, that now this is it's just making me money to put it figuratively. Like it's here, I turn it on, I turn up the volume, I hit the light, and I'm ready to go. So what can you do to make it easy on yourself in the creation process? And I've kind of already talked about this a little bit. Like the tools help you. Better tools help you make better products, better videos, better content, of course. A better microphone, a better camera is going to make it look better and elevate your production value. But it shouldn't be this arduous, big hurdle that you have to go through every single time you want to create content. If the camera that you have is finicky, or it takes too much to handle, or you can't operate it by yourself, or you always need a camera operator to help you operate it, or you always need a video editor to edit the videos, then that is not a system that is going to last very long. Or the moment that you get lazy or tired or insecure or feel like just, you know what, this isn't really working out, the moment that happens, the whole system falls apart, and all the money you spent and wasted on some fancy camera or fancy lenses or fancy lights is just wasted money. So find a system, find something that is consistent, put it out, have it out and ready. Don't have to, there's no big setup every single time. If all you can do is just, they make lights where you can just hit a remote and all the lights come on, whatever setting you have to do, whatever scenes you have to build the scenes, build it once, and then just keep consistently creating content based off that. And then, and this goes into the next part, be boring. You are going to sound, I wrote this here, you are your own broken record. You have to be boring. And when I say be boring, I don't mean be boring to the audience so that they get bored or they hate this content. You are creating, you have to be boring in your own mind. You have to be boring to yourself. You have to be your own broken record. I'm talking about pricing and marketing and being a photographer and being a content creator all the time. That is what I'm talking about all the time. And if you're me and you listen to me, if the stuff I say, I feel like I'm repeating it over and over and over. But that's what you have to do. Your brand, the content you put out is like a TV channel. If I go to the bass fishing TV channel, I don't watch that stuff, or you go to the golf channel, or you go to ESPN, or you go to the news channel, or you go to a comedy channel, you will, to the people making that stuff on that channel are basically making the same thing over and over. The people that are on ESPN talking about whatever sports are talking about the same thing over and over, just a new name, same story. It's the constant thing. So that's what you need to do. You're creating content that is the new name, same story. New name, same story. New name, same story. And if it's going to feel like a broken record. It's going to feel like I've already talked about this or I've covered this enough. I've made pricing videos. I've made, 10, 12 pricing videos in the last 2-3 months. I probably need to make 10 or 12 more in the next 2 months. And probably you need to cover those topics again, just in a different way, but using a different name. So you're going to feel like a broken record. And there's going to be this urge to be like, I got to spice it up. I got to change it up. Because when you start to change it up or be that creative or we need to up our game, folks, that's when you start to add those steps in between idea phase to publication phase. And when you keep adding more and more steps to idea phase to publication phase, that's when you are opening up to me, that's when you're opening up the gates of hell and kind of asking for, if you want to fail, here's how you fail. Add more steps to the process, add more friction, add more steps and layers and bullshit to all the processes that you have, and that's how you're going to fail at consistently producing content. Whew! All right. Thanks for watching, folks. My name is Jordan P. Anderson. I hope you enjoyed tonight's episode about creating content. Let's do a little recap, folks. I feel like we have to do a recap. Tonight we talked about the philosophy of creating content consistently. We broke it down and we talked about the habit. First, let's talk about the philosophy. My main philosophy is to remove all friction from the creative process. What is the shortest point or the shortest distance from creation to publication? Next, we talk about breaking it down. I think this is a suggestion here, but take a screenshot of this and maybe use this on your content strategy. Choose one platform or one type of content, written word, audio, video, selfie videos, Instagram, TikTok. Choose one and make that 70% of your content strategy efforts. And then in the rest of that 30%, you can fill in the rest. You can post to everything. I do everything. I do Twitter, I do Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, or podcasting, live streaming, Reels. I do all of that, but it's all in the 30% window. 70% for me is TikTok at this point. And then finally, we talked about the habit. Yes, take some of those habit things, atomic habits, blah, blah, blah. Make it obvious. Like, put the camera out there. Make your light stands up, ready to go. The mixer, the microphone, it's all out. It's all ready. Make it public. Make a public statement to the world in your email signature, in your tagline, in your bio, in your links. Make it public that I am I am a YouTuber, I am an Instagrammer, I am a photographer who posts once a week. You're going to expect a monthly video, weekly video, daily email, whatever it is. Make it public so that you have a little bit of social pressure on your neck. And you are your own broken record. I'm going to keep saying this every single night, that my name is Jordan P. Anderson. I'm a pricing coach for wedding photographers. I help them raise their prices, earn more revenue, and I don't use formulas, I don't use spreadsheets. And the biggest problem that I'm seeing a lot of times is this kind of tendency, this practice of how many pages can we add to the wedding package? How many pages can we add? 20 pages? Is it 25 pages? That's going to convince the bride and groom to book with me. Do I need to add more photos to this? Do I need to talk about my dog? Do I need to? And it's okay. And wedding photographers, we're not copywriters. We are not. Yes, we may have a little bit of design elements and know how to make the right layout for our photos, but we do not know. Like, it's just too much, and it's too much headache to do this every single time for every single client. Why not distill this all down to the one page that your clients are really looking for? You know the page that your clients flip to. You hand them that 25-page PDF. You hand them that 20-page thing that you printed out at Kinko's or you mailed to them or whatever. And you know what page they're going to flip through? They're going to flip past all that beautiful work that you did, all the copywriting that you did, all the pretty layouts that you found on Canva, and they're going to flip to that one sheet, and that's the pricing sheet. So why not just get good or get better or try to perfect the pricing sheet? And that is the solution that I'm offering in the Perfect Wedding Package. Cut out all the bullshit and let's get down to the one page that they are going to flip through, that they're going to care about the most. Like, a client is not convinced on page 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of your pretty photos. They've already done that shopping. Give them just the price sheet. Give them a one-page proposal, and you're going to find all of that in the Perfect Wedding Package. So in the Perfect Wedding Package, I show not only are you going to build a one-page proposal with me, but I also walk you through in a video lesson, in a video setting just like this. I'm offering a walkthrough, a step-by-step guide to building the one-page proposal that is going to make your clients you never want to confuse your clients, and a client will always say no when they're confused, and a client will always say no when the expectations are misaligned. I show you in your price sheet how that you can clear up any misaligned expectations. When do I pay? How much do I pay? What do I get with this? I show you how to clear that up, and then I also show you how to clear up any confusing points, because we're not creating this Applebee's, Dave & Buster's giant menu where there are 25 options to choose from as a wedding photographer. I show you how to break it down to 3 simple options, and I also show you how to arrange those options so that your clients are excited and that they might even, and you'll see a lot of proposals that make it like this, that the largest option, the biggest price, is just a throwaway number. I'm trying to help you so that they can choose the largest number and that you can make a huge amount of profit. I don't know why I said it like that, but that's the goal. Like, we're trying to make some money here. We're trying to make some profit here from the weddings that we book. And if we can consistently do it, and we can find a better way to save more time or not spend all these countless hours writing proposals, then that just makes our lives so much easier. That means we have much more time as a small business owner to go out and try out these other content strategies that Jordan keeps talking about. So head over to the Perfect Wedding Package. I have a free trial that you can try for 7 days, risk-free, cancel anytime. And all you got to do is go to theperfectweddingpackage.com. And if you want, there's even some bonuses and a couple bundles in there that I think you might like. So head over to theperfectweddingpackage.com. Make sure you put the THE at the beginning. And I will see you guys next week. I'm just kidding. Next Friday. This Friday. I'll see you guys this Friday. Today's Wednesday. Where am I? And thanks for watching, guys. My name is